What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with Bun Big Impact, and I think I figured out like an adjustment for my computer for fixing the lighting. Bear with me, I got a little bit of a headache today. Cranberry juice from non-concentrate is disgusting. I'm gonna have to slam this real quick, and hopefully it doesn't like put something in my throat, like a feeling in my throat. Bear with me. Click the subscribe button. Push the like button. You got a minute. Tell me what you're doing in the description below. And be damn glad you're not having to drink this right now. I am not a sour person. I do not. I'm salty. No, I'm just kidding. I do not like sour stuff at all. Ah, sorry, I have to get that down. So, today's video is going to be basically like what to do when you feel like giving up. Now, this could be a lot of different things. It could be, you giving up on life. It could be you're giving up on your diet. It could be you're giving up on your fitness, giving up on your job, giving up on your relationship, giving up on your goals. It could be so many different things, okay? So I want you to understand that although I talk about certain scenarios or situations, does not necessarily mean that that's what you have to apply it to. Understand it's universal. First of all, some of these are easier said than done, I will admit. First of all, know that you have a purpose. You have some reason, whether we know it or not. I don't really know mine, I'll be honest. You have some reason why you're alive. Something. Whether it's to learn more, whether it's to expand your understanding of what life is, whether it's give and take, whether it's karma, whether it's um, you have to learn to be responsible. It could be just it could be you have a purpose to be there for your children. You have a purpose to lose your children and maybe show others strength. Um, we don't necessarily always have to know, what our purpose is. And we're not always going to like it. But you have one. You guys know I'm not religious in any way, shape, or form. I'm more spiritual than anything. I believe in right and wrong, good and bad, karma, treat others how you want to be treated, and I'll be the first to tell you I screwed that all up all the time. Law of attraction, all those things. I believe in all those things. More so like the universe rather than anything. You also have to remember that others are watching. When you feel like giving up on something, you have to know that others are watching. Many of you, I don't see them often come up in my stories. I would assume they're probably in there, if I had a way to access them, that would be interesting. When I first started my healthy journey, I started at Lifetime Fitness. I used to go there every day. I never really understood what good nutrition was, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm still learning every single day. I'm like a giant sponge trying to learn stuff all the time. The day you think you know everything is the day you're done, because you don't. The thing that I know is your journey probably began a really, really long time ago. For me, I think it was 6, 8 years ago, something like that. Maybe 8. I want to say when it was 30, I started flipping the switch. But before that, it was like my switch was turned off. I started focusing on health, and my ex-wife left me, and that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, completely honest. Those were some very difficult, stressful times for both of us, and I'm really sorry if I ever, was a jerk. And I know I was. I was the professional fun hater. Probably still am to an extent. Your kids are watching. You guys are watching. Before you guys were watching, before YouTube, before Healthy Living for a Healthy Life, before all that, I used to go hiking over at A Mountain. And I would say like some motivational stuff on video and stuff like that. And nobody listened. And if they did, it was the friends that I had. The friends I had at the time. Drug addicts, drunks, whatever. Not that that's how I should identify people, but I'm saying that so that you know that they weren't people that were oriented with going outdoors and doing healthy stuff. And go outdoors and get trashed, go to the river and get trashed, but nobody would go hiking or on a jog or anything like that. Nothing like that. So before you were watching, my kids were watching. And originally, believe it or not, this is why I started a healthy journey. I wanted to show my kids that I wasn't such a piece of crap. That they mattered. I got to the point about 2 years ago, I think, when Jimmy disappeared, my goat, and came through a couple difficult relationships. I realized that I realize now the place I was in, living with my mom and stuff like that, it was the lack of anything good for me. I'm not saying anything against my mom, that's whatever. But before anybody was listening, my kids were. And I was. And I think if you pass anything on to your kids, it's showing them not to give up. It's really easy to give up on anything. And I'll be the first to admit it. I'm an Aries. I'm bipolar. Start a lot of projects and I don't finish everything. That's real talk. That's a hard pill to swallow, but I don't have to. I'll just spit it out. No, I'm just kidding. The next thing is you're not your mistakes. If you're on a certain eating plan and you can't for the life of you figure out how to get a freaking day under your belt, and you're going to the drive-through and you're eating like absolute garbage every day, or you're an addict and you keep on getting high, or you're a cutter, and every time you go through something difficult you just make one more cut, or you're an alcoholic and you just have another beer. The thing I think you mostly have to remember is if you have some time between you and those situations, it's good to understand that you can be like a reborn person. The problem with self-growth and self-development a lot of the times is the people that you're around aren't growing with you. In fact, they will never grow with you at the same rate. Whether it's your husband, it's your wife, it's your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your best friends from when you were 16. You're not on the same journey. And even if you're in the same household and super close and lovey-dovey and everything, it's not the same. Somebody recently sent me a message. Alyssa, thank you. And I remember things from when I was a kid that had an impact on me that had to do with situations involving that person. Not necessarily that person, obviously, but there was a couple of situations that scarred my mind for a lot of years. You know, I was always, bullied because of my weight, and different things, and not by her, but I think it was like a guy she was dating or something. And true story, I had a crush on her. I know, right? After being bullied for so long, I became the bully. And I did that for a while. And I try not to do it now. But it still comes out. It still happens. The people that see you the way you were when you were younger have a very difficult time seeing you as anything different now. You have to understand that distancing yourself from people that aren't on the same level is perfectly acceptable. I have literally pushed out every single friend I've ever had. I have like one buddy that we go to the gym every once in a while, but to be completely honest, even our values don't match up. Um, and you're going to get a lot of that. People will never let you live down your mistakes, your character behaviors, who you were, a crazy night out, or something like that. So, most likely, that's going to hinder your growth. So, you're going to have to find a new way to understand that you're not your mistakes. You're not the person you were 10 years ago. You're not the person you were 5 years ago. You might even be the person you were 6 months ago. Understand that self development and self growth is an ongoing, continuous process. And every single day, you can learn something new and be even brighter than the day before. Something you have to remember is when you're thinking about giving up, think about all the people that said you wouldn't make it. My sixth grade teacher sent me off to alternative school, and he was like, "You don't belong in regular school. You're not going to make it." Well, lo and behold, I didn't. Went straight there, went back, back and forth trying to go to regular schools, never really made it. And a lot of the times you wear those scars for so many years. Sometimes people wear them forever. Everybody I've always known, and you can say whatever the hell you want. And if you haven't met me or don't hang out with me on a regular basis, you probably don't understand. But I'm a spaz. I'm too much. I'm over the top. I'm extreme. I'm angry. I'm aggressive. I'm sporadic. I'm what is the people don't understand bipolar. People don't understand a lifetime of taking medication since you were a small child. In and out of therapy your entire life for many, many things. They don't understand, when you're 16 coming home and your brother committed suicide, and then when you become older dealing with that with your mom, and when you become older your son dies, almost as like a twisted learning mechanism. And I'm still here. And I'm still trying to learn. My geography social studies teacher, I won't say his name. I don't ever want to call anybody's name out. Yes, I remember your name. Used to make a mockery of my poor reading skills and my crappy essays that I turned in and stuff in front of the whole class. And I used to just go to the class pretty jacked up all the time because I didn't want to deal with it. I still don't know shit about geography. But I know in the last 4 or 5 years I've been to 30 countries. and I've covered quite a bit of land, if that's geography. I don't know. I've learned a lot about history, and I love it. And I love maps, and I love all that stuff. He didn't think I would succeed. And I don't know what success is necessarily. That's all debatable. What is success? When you think about giving up, think about all the time that you've put in. Like I said, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, I started making these videos. I have 1,920 videos on YouTube. Now, obviously, not all of them are based on the same thing. I'm all over the place. It's not that I'm trying to get famous. It's just that I'm trying to help others through the things I learned. But if somebody like me, or somebody like you, you've put all this work in, maybe you lost 50 pounds, maybe you lost 5, maybe you lost 100, maybe you're almost done with your master's degree. Maybe you're about to get that raise. And you're stressed out and you're overwhelmed and you're overworked and everything. Take a step back. Yawn a little. I yawn when I talk a lot, by the way. It's just how it is. This bug is driving me nuts, by the way. There's a little gnat flying in my face. Think about all the work you put in, all the time, all the years, all the effort. I think you'll realize pretty damn quick that it's not worth quitting. When you think about or feel like giving up, think about who's left. Think about that. And you might be saying, who are you talking about? So, for instance, with me, think about who's left that I grew up with. Think about Alyssa was talking about that, by the way. I'm shouting you out. I'm sorry, Alyssa. You're probably going to kill me. She was talking about, she just said like a phrase, and it made a lot of sense. It was, where we came from wasn't really setting us up for like anything positive. Meaning like the neighborhood we grew up in, we were all getting trashed, doing drugs, drinking alcohol. Like, there's a lot of them that died. There's even more that got locked up. There's even more that gave up. And I guess there's a few that came out okay. Beth is an old friend. I've known her since I was like 10. She's a yoga instructor, and I believe she's in Georgia on her own little piece of land, living a cool little life. Alyssa is a yoga instructor. I'm a personal trainer. I don't really keep in contact with a lot of them, but I see a lot of them around the internet and different things. And then there's some that we don't see because they're not live. And you have to understand, when you feel like giving up, you've still got more time for some reason. And you got to use it. The stuff I had done when I was a kid and into my 20s and just before my 30s, I really shouldn't have made it. And I'm really lucky. Think about when you feel like giving up, think about where you could be, but you're not. You know, I had a buddy when I was growing up, Josh Rakestraw. I say he's my buddy, but realistically, nobody fucking liked me. And I'm not saying that in like a poor me way. It's just kind of the way it always was. Um, I don't know, just the way it was. Go over to Josh's house and he would never answer the door and he'd be in there. And, I don't know. 480-962-5720. It's his phone number. He got in a car accident, wrapped his car around a pole, and died. Another buddy of ours has spent the last 2 decades in prison. You're not there. You have freedom, you have family, and even if you don't, you have friends, and even if you don't, you have freedom. And that's good. You have a chance to wake up every single day, every single morning, every new day, every new morning, and do whatever the hell you want. When you feel like giving up, look at your achievements. Many people think, I lost 20 pounds, gained back 30, I'm a piece of crap. My rebuttal to that would be, what did you learn? How did you lose the 20 pounds? What knowledge did you understand to be able to lose that 20 pounds? Did you understand, like, what? It must have been something that you didn't know before you tried that you learned after and then tried and it worked. That's an achievement. The knowledge base is an achievement. You gained 30 back. How? What did you do? Did you get laid off? Did you sit at home sad? Depressed? Started eating cookies? Ordering pizza? Sitting on your ass? That's knowledge. You learned that through that behavior, not only would you reverse your results, but you would completely screw everything up. It's the same thing like depression or mental illness. We learn something every single day. I learn a lot every day. A lot of the times it's like through self-growth, and I do not want to learn that shit. Obviously, if I'm reading, I got 15 books over there about the subject, but meaning like actual real world circumstances, it's difficult. You don't want to learn those things, and sometimes it's the hardest bullet to bite. One of the biggest problems that I've always had in my entire life is communication. And sometimes I just give up on communication. I just back out of the communication because I don't want to say the wrong thing or upset people or whatever. When you feel like giving up, think about those achievements. Achievements don't have to be always good. Achievements are knowledge, good or bad. Sometimes some of the most amazing things that we learn are through the shittiest times that you could ever possibly learn. And to me, I feel like that's like a huge gold star slapped right on you that is pinned to your flesh with a freaking piece of barbed wire. You earned that achievement. And I understand, we fall. You start drinking again. You start doing drugs again. Gain the weight back. You end up depressed. Or you're suicidal. Or whatever. You're human. You're not going to ever be able to control your thoughts. Coming from somebody with severe mania, I don't know if you know what that is. I have bipolar 1 severe mania, meaning I don't get depressed too much. I'm mostly in a high, but it's severe mania is just like racing thoughts 24/7. It's very like a hyperactive mind all the time, and I definitely don't know what's coming in my head second to second. It's difficult sometimes. I don't like all the thoughts that come in my head, and you probably don't either. You can't control them. But you can decide not to act on things. When you feel like giving up, just don't. Just don't give up. I don't care what it's about. It's not worth it. Life is amazing. The fact that you gain 30 pounds back and you get another chance to get it off, and this time you're going to keep it off. Why? Because you're a badass. Maybe you had that other drink, or you had a slip up and take one too many of your pills. You're not owned by those things. When you feel it giving up, you just don't. You guys, I hope this video helps. If you're new here, check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. I wish you guys all the most amazing day. I'm constantly trying to grow as a person. Not in size. Well, I mean, kind of add some muscle. But just trying to be the best version of myself. And I've got a long way to go. And it's okay if you do too. Remember to spread love, not hate. Drink your damn water. Stay on track. #TeamBoo. And have a great day.